Hi and welcome to Creative Lab. Today I will showing you how to turn your loop from this to this. Okay, simple technique, but it's very effective. Okay, uh, so let's dive in. Okay, of course you can use this method with any plugins. Doesn't have to be strict to a PSP. Okay, any kind of preamp, gate, processor, compression. I'm sorry, and EQ will do. Okay, but the better quality plugins you'll be using, of course, the better result you will have. If you want your sounds to be shiny and good, you have to be using. People tell you stock plugins and all this bullshit. It's just, trust me, bullshit. Of course, a car with $1 million will definitely be much better than a car with a few $1,000s, right? Same thing with every single life. The more expensive stuff, the better quality you will have. Alright, so let's get started. Stop coaching you in life. Let's get down to production. Okay, let's meet me through what I did in here. Okay, one by one. First, I used preamp. I pushed a little bit pre-80s, just a little bit. Okay, without, and lost a little bit of warmth with. I give a little bit. Okay, here we go. Without, with, without. Give it a little bit of warmth. Okay. Alright. Alright. With it again. Without again. I'm sorry. With. Just give the initial transient a little bit more fullness, if you will. Okay. Second one is the filter. I didn't really use it. Just when I loaded the plugin, just was there. Okay, but it's good and handy to have things like this to remove maybe unwanted low frequency if you need it. Second thing, we used a gate which will clean up your drums. Let me show you without the gate how the compression will respond to the loop. Check this out. Without the gate, listen carefully now. Listen to the room of the drums. It's been emphasized, the snare, right? You can hear the reverb in the snare. The shaker and hi-hats are doing more things because they're the room, it's kind of a blending with them, so it's kind of giving you this busy sound, right? But listen when you add the gate. You're isolating the room totally. Maybe it's what you need in a busy loop mix. Maybe you have a lot of drums in your mix. Just want something like that, just to kind of give the groove a little spice without adding too much room, right? Now we can have like a dry loop, but more emphasized, not too busy, and you can now add your own room which you would fit to your mix. And the compressor right now is not reacting to the room, it's not bringing the room out, it's just concentrating only on the initial transient of the sound, right? Okay, let's focus on the compression. Okay, I kind of gave more attack. I don't want to compress the initial sound, the transient. Maybe in your mix you have a lot of transient in other loops and you want to soften this loop to add it underneath, maybe like that, right? But in this example I wanted to have some attack, right? And the release is kind of basically in drums you don't want very slow release like this. This is just basically, if you mute this, basically the compression is not reacting at all, so it's not giving you this snap. Listen when you shorten the release, just the loop come to life, right? Ratio here is how much that sound will get deducted, the volume will get deducted from the compression will reach the threshold. By the ratio, you define the ratio. I did a 4, right? And I boosted maybe 3 to compensate for the reduction of the compression. Okay, with everything. Yeah, it's in your face, right, up front. Again, it's this. Of course, little bit, let me see. Little bit volume, but trust me, if you listen to the initial transient, it's not the volume, it's giving this loop life. Listen again. The definition and the clarity and the crisp of the sound, that's what's kind of poking to your ear, right? Alright, and here, let me solo this. This is the EQ I used. Without it, a little bit dull, with, without, with. I added 7K, I gave maybe I think 1.6 and 500, I gave almost a dB, right? Just to fill up the loop a little bit and get more fullness in the mid range and the high mid, or the highs, a little bit more sheen to it, right? Without, with. One point I want to touch on, if this loop here wasn't gained properly, would never sound as good on these plugins. Remember, all these loops are mastered and squeezed to the end, to the maximum, to sound really good, so for you to buy it, and not necessarily for you to just put it in your track and make it sound good. It could never do that. Would never make your track sound good when you just add it like that. Never. But to sell them, they have to sound as good as possible, right? I see a lot of producers who don't gain their stuff properly. Maybe I will talk later down the road on these problems and make videos regarding gaining and preparing your sound to accept these nice fancy plugins to do their job and really hear what can they add to your sound. For example, a lot of people use synths patches just the way they are, just they take them and add them and they use them, and all sound, you have a huge sound coming from the preset, very wide, very nasal, very harsh, very harsh, have a lot of frequency in the high frequency, right? And try to use it and you think it sounds good, but it's not. There's a lot of tricks, a lot of how to say, you can make people perceive things as good and as big and as wide, but you're doing actually less than what they hear. And how to prepare your sound, it's a total different story. How to get your sound to sound flat before using any compression or EQ or anything is a trick, because when you have your sound as flat as possible, you can start manipulating the sound without altering the sound in a bad way and make it sound wrong. You're gonna be not rebalancing, because if you spend your entire time rebalancing the sound rather than make it sound good, your mix will sound just alright or okay. But you don't want that. You want your mix to sound punchy, strong, and